The FDA has taken a step towards approving the first COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. But as Debra Alfarone reports, not all parents are sure about their kids getting the shots once they're authorized.
Out of 18 voting members, 17 voted yes.
An independent FDA advisory panel voted to authorize a lower dose of the Pfizer COVID vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. Final approval could come as early as next week, giving parents a decision to make.
I think there are many families across the country awaiting the opportunity to get kids 5 to 11 vaccinated. And at the same time, there are, as you point out, some families that have outstanding questions.
The White House says it's planning a public relations campaign to educate parents about the benefits of vaccination.
Medical experts, including pediatricians and family doctors, trusted parents, and other outside stakeholders who will amplify accurate information online and in media appearances.
Catherine Yonioka, a mother of twin 8-year-olds, has determined she has no major concerns with the risks.
It means getting back to normalcy. We've been very careful for the first year because my son has neurological issues. So I'm first in line to get that shot for them.
A CBS News poll showed only about a third of parents are like Yonioka, saying they'll definitely get their kids vaccinated when it is approved for use. Debra Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
For more, let's bring in our CBS News reporter, Alexander Tin. Hi there, Alex. So on Tuesday, an FDA panel recommended Pfizer COVID shots for children 5 to 11. Now, the panel recommendation is not an FDA approval of the shots. When can parents expect that to happen?
Well, that's a great question and an important distinction for really two reasons. The first is that, and let's be clear, there is only one vaccine that has so far won the FDA's, so-called full approval. That's Pfizer's vaccine, the first 2 shots for Americans 16 and older. And that's not what's being considered here. What's being considered here is emergency use authorization. That's the same permission that has been granted to the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines, as well as to the adolescents who are now getting vaccinated. That distinction is important because, number one, it's not the same as approval. It's a slightly different standard that goes into, vetting the evidence, vetting the data, vetting the manufacturing that goes into making the shots, but also because we know many states and many schools, at least per federal health officials, they are hoping will not mandate the shots until the vaccines actually get approval, as opposed to just emergency use authorization. That's important because, at least in this very specific age group, we know that the benefit-risk calculation for children can be different, and it's a closer call. And you heard a lot of hesitation yesterday at that FDA meeting of the agency's vaccine advisors over whether or not the benefits really outweighed the risks for all children in the United States, as opposed to, say, just high-risk children. Separately from that, it's important to remind ourselves where we are in the process. The FDA panel met yesterday. We are expecting official authorization of the shots by the end of this week. But before the first children between 5 and 11 can be vaccinated with Pfizer's vaccine, the CDC's own vaccine advisors will have to meet, come up with recommendations on how to use the shots, potentially narrow eligibility, and eventually issue those recommendations before the shots can be rolled out.
Well, recent CBS polling shows that parents are split on whether to vaccinate their kids for COVID-19. What are some of the concerns parents have?
Yeah, well, to be clear, we know that the vaccines are safe and effective for adults. We know that they have been safe and effective in their use for adolescents to, again, prevent and protect against severe COVID-19 as well as reduce transmission. But we know it's a closer call in this youngest age group, 5 to 11, for a few reasons. The first is because we know that their risk of getting a severe COVID-19 case just isn't the same as adults. While many children have been, they face severe COVID-19, they've been hospitalized, some have even died, more so than we would see perhaps in a flu season, that number is far less than we would see, for example, in adults. And that matters because there's also a concern of rare side effects like myocarditis, which is a type of heart inflammation that can potentially hospitalize children. Now, to be clear, in most cases of myocarditis, children who are hospitalized eventually recover within a day. Many don't have any long-term side effects, and obviously their end result is far better than ending up with a severe case of COVID-19. But you combine that with the fact that, for example, the CDC told the FDA's advisors yesterday that maybe as much as 40% of children may already have some pre-existing immunity from surviving a COVID-19 infection. The benefits of giving the vaccine appear to get smaller and smaller from a public health standpoint. When you weigh that against the risk of myocarditis, it becomes a much closer call. That's a lot of the hesitation we heard yesterday at the FDA Advisory Board panel, and it's something we're going to hear a lot more discussion about next week at that CDC meeting.
Well, let's talk about Moderna. Moderna says an interim study shows its COVID vaccine is having strong results in protecting kids aged 6 through 11. Alex, when can regulators expect to review that data?
Yeah, well, right now we are expecting basically 2 roadblocks before we could potentially see Moderna's vaccine for ages 6 to adolescents to be potentially authorized for use. The first is we know that Moderna's vaccine for adolescents, which is a submission that was completed months ago, the FDA has that data, has yet to be authorized. And we know a big obstacle to that authorization has again been that concern over myocarditis in adolescents. There is some concern that potentially the risk of this, again, very rare side effect in adolescents, might be higher with Moderna's vaccine compared to Pfizer's vaccine. And so the FDA has been very carefully weighing and judging and analyzing the data around the risks versus the benefits in that age group. Before that gets resolved, it's unlikely we will see any results, any authorization for Moderna's vaccine for even younger age groups, like the group that we heard that data for just recently.
Well, business groups are asking the Biden administration to delay a COVID vaccine and testing mandate for large companies until after the holidays. Are U.S. businesses expecting mass resignations over the mandate?
You know, it's an interesting question because we have heard some business groups and some businesses say that, you know, they really fear the potential for mass resignations or strikes or, you know, potential issues with their workforce when they implement these kinds of vaccination requirements. Yet on the same hand, in which you've heard from the Biden administration today, is that there are many, many companies, both private organizations as well as public organizations, that have implemented these so-called vaccination requirements and have seen virtually all of their workers, between 90 to 100% of their workers, comply with these requirements. And of course, add to that the fact that what we're expecting OSHA, that's the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, to issue is not a simple requirement that every worker get vaccinated against COVID-19. It's a little more nuanced than that. One of the exceptions is that if workers in large employers above 100 employees don't get vaccinated, they have the option to continue working there as long as they're getting regular COVID-19 tests. There's still a lot more to learn about this rule. The final rule hasn't been published yet by OSHA. But between both the OSHA rule as well as the positive results we've seen already in the private industries that have implemented vaccination requirements so far, the Biden administration says they're confident there won't be a major disruption as a result of vaccination requirements.
All right, Alexander Tin for us. Alex, thank you very much.
Thank you.